Hello everyone, Nick of StreetPass Princeton here to play another match in the PAX Prime Pokemon League. So, it was a 3-on-3, it was a rotation battle, which is something I'm not usually used to. This guy, Rembobulant, I don't know, Rembobulant? Yeah, his team was mainly Evolutions, and I like Evolutions. Evolutions are one of my favorites. Jolteon, and I have to say Espeon, Jolteon, Espeon, and Vaporeon are my three top favorites. So, those are my three favorites. Everything else, but definitely my favorites. So, my team was Delphox, I have Goodra, and Scizor. So, pretty well balanced team overall. I mean, Goodra has Assault Vest, Delphox has its Magician ability, and Scizor has its Mega Stone. So, I'm definitely thinking this is going to be a pretty quick battle. So, let's start the match. So, he issues the challenge. So, I send out Delphox, Goodra, and Courtship. I start off with Delphox, because I'm thinking, okay, who knows what he's going to send out. So, I'm thinking to myself, So he starts out with Jolteon, and Jolteon goes for Protect. I'm like, oh, I was going to Solar Beam you and take whatever item you had. So, Solar Beam, absorb the light. You know the typical drill with the Magician Delphox. Abdallah definitely taught me a very useful tactic with this. And unfortunately, Jolteon protected itself, and it got the burn, which is important because it has Quick Feet. So, Flareon's up next, and I go for Psyshock. So I've used my my herb, and so now I take his item, which is a Shell Bell, and he's like, no, you took my Shell Bell! And I was like, yep, I got you there. So he goes for Sub, and I'm just like, well, your Sub is dead, because Psyshock's gonna take you out. And Flareon has weak, pathetic defense. Special defense, that is. So Flareon is just pretty much at a war of attrition with this substitute. So he goes for Flame Charge, hoping to build up some speed. And I'm like, okay, but it's not going to do very much damage. And maybe Flame Charge might be countered for my Scizor, but that's about it. So now Espeon's in, and I go for another Psyshock, and I'm just like, oh, I should have seen that coming. I could have done Mystical Fire to lower his special attack. So I do gain some health from the Shell Bell, but it's only 3 HP, which isn't much to talk about. Goes for the Light Screen, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, so now special attacks are out of the question. And he probably has that Light Clay up, so that's not good. So I switch to Goodra, and with Goodra, Jolteon goes for the Thunderbolt. Luckily, Goodra does not get paralyzed, and Goodra's fine. Goodra goes for Dragon Pulse, which does a pretty freaking good job. So, Goodra does get some damage off Jolteon, and Jolteon gets hit by the burn. Even with the Quick Feet, it's still a hard thing to handle. I go for another Dragon Pulse against Flareon, but I know that defense is gonna hurt. Goes for another Flame Charge, hoping to build up some more momentum, and it doesn't do very much damage to Goodra, which is good. He does gain the speed boost, but not very much. Espeon comes out, and I didn't see Dazzling Gleam. I just didn't think about it at the time. I was just thinking Psychic, and unfortunately Goodra does get hit with a special super effective hit. But luckily, since it's not stab boost, I'm pretty much in the clear here. Espeon also takes a fair hit by the Dragon Pulse. So I go Mystical Fire, and doesn't matter. Flareon is out. Doesn't matter, it's not very effective. Not very much damage, but not very much health left either. So I stay in the battle, and what do I do with Delphox? I stay in, I go for another Mystical Fire, because I want to lower anybody of his team special attack. Because if I lower their special attack, it'll make them less useful for them to attack me. And plus I have a Shell Bell, so that's also useful, even though it doesn't recover very much. But goes for Psyshock on me, and it's not going to do a ton of damage, honestly. So, and I got that Shell Bell, so I'm all good. So, he goes for another Protect, and I'm like thinking to myself, he's just stalling out. It's not going to matter at this point. So then I believe I go for another Mystical Fire. Jolteon protects itself. So then I believe I switch into Scizor, but I'm not sure. Do I switch into Scizor next round? No, I stick with Mystical. Yeah. I mean, that didn't matter anyway. So, Mystical Fire again. Let's see. And, yeah, I keep getting recoveries. So, pretty good shot. So, Espeon goes for the Psyshock. Psyshock's not going to do very much damage. So, I'm in pretty good clear. I thought he would have done Dazzling Gleam instead, at least. So, go for another Mystical Fire. And Espeon is out. I mean, and then this next turn is the last turn, because that burn is going to pretty much hurt Jolteon pretty badly. So, Jolteon is brought forward, and I switch over to Scizor. So, I Mega Stone here, and this is absolute endgame. So, Scizor Mega Evolves. What do I go with Scizor now? I go with Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch wipes out Jolteon, practically. The burn takes care of the rest. His Thunderbolt does very little damage at this point. Actually, it does a lot. My bad. But at this point, it doesn't matter, because his Jolteon's out. So, Jolteon fainted, and Jolteon is one of my favorites. I like Jolteon. And I beat and got the second badge. So, great job on me. Really enjoyed PAX Prime. I really wanted to do more, but with how it was with Prime, I was doing panels, I was playing games with friends. So, overall, even though I didn't get far in the Prime League, I still had a lot of fun. And there's more to Prime than the Pokemon League. That being said, I would have liked to have gotten farther, and I think next year, if I probably do Prime, I'll probably pencil in time to do more Prime leaders. Because really, it's not that hard, and most of them are pretty easy to beat, depending if you have the right strategy. If you have a consistent team, most of them are pretty easy to beat. But if you're, like, new to Pokemon and you're not very good at it, it can be very difficult to brace yourself. But if you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy. So, I'm not exactly a pro at Pokemon, but I know the ins and outs. I play it since Gen 1, so I'm pretty well versed on it. Anyway, lastly, just like this video, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. And I want to thank you all so much for watching this episode of Pokemon Omega Ruby with me. You know I don't have many PAX Prime episodes, but hopefully next PAX I will definitely carry forward, and I'll do a better job. So I want to thank you all so much for watching, and this is Nick of StreetPass Princeton signing out. See you guys later. Bye. See ya.